What's up, guys? We are back with another review, and we are taking a look at the first release from Biblical Adventures by D13 Toys, and this is a recent Kickstarter done by Chris, who works at Four Horsemen Studios, and it's all Bible-themed stuff. And at PowerCon, there were two on-site exclusives. You could get kind of like a first release, like an early production release of the demons that he's got. So there's a red one and a green one, and they just come in bags. Nothing crazy when it comes to packaging. So you've got these. You've got two translucent demons. I'm really curious to check these out. You know, I'd like to see if he knows what he's doing, that kind of stuff. But I'm really curious to see these because it's, of course, very different from Legions. It's not like that at all. It's just tangentially related in that regard. And just to see how they stack up and what we're going to expect when the full line comes out. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's pull them out and take a look. And here we go, out of the baggie, I guess, our D13 Biblical Adventures Demons. And again, these are PowerCon exclusive translucent variants. And I will say right off the bat, I am not one for having a bunch of Christian stuff on my toy shelves by any means, but these look rad. You got me with translucent, you got me with demons, and I also want to help Chris and support this line, and I like to think he knows what he's doing, so he definitely had my attention with these, and I had to snatch him up. This was my second stop at PowerCon, right from the Four Horsemen booth to his booth, and I really like what I'm seeing here. I know a lot of folks, know Chris because of Legions and the Four Horsemen. This is not that. This is very different build, different style of figure, and I really think these could be something special. Even if you don't, want to buy into the biblical aspect of some of this stuff, just demons on its own. I mean, these look pretty good. So let's see what they can do, see how they move around. I'm only going to take a look at one, just because, as far as articulation concerned, there's no real reason to take a look at both. And I'm also going to stress the fact that these are not final. Like, they are maybe, 90-95% final, so really, really close to being done. But there are some tweaks to be made still, so you'll see something maybe get tightened up here and there when you get your final piece. But these still feel pretty done to me, so I like what's going on here. Now, we've got a head that's on a hinged ball, so he can look up, and he can look down. You got a little bit of attitude side to side, a little bit, and you got your twist up there. Arms out at the shoulders. They, of course, rotate. You got your butterfly joint in there. We've got a bicep swivel. Double jointed pinless elbows. You can see the internals, so it sort of looks like they have pins, but they're pinless. We've got hinges and rotation at that wrist. I do recall him saying something about the torso, and at this point, PowerCon absolutely drained me, so I don't remember what he said. But I feel like something maybe needs to be changed on the torso to make things move a little bit better up here. So they go backward and forward, and then they do have some tilt side to side. Really, really nice, actually. I think the thing was that they're not going to be able to twist as much as he wanted because of just the materials right now, so this may be a little different. And then you've got your waist twist. They've got wings, and these guys actually plug into the back. It's a separate piece, so you don't have to use them if you don't want to. And they just plug in, and then they hinge in and out. That's all they do. But they look really good. Like, they fit this figure really nicely. They don't mess up his balance either, which I really like. You got legs that go out about that far. You can do almost the satanic splits there. Kick forward, a little bit backwards. You got your thigh twist up there. We've got double jointed pinless knees, and they go back pretty far as well. And then down at those ankles, normal stuff. You got a rocker and you got hinges, but really good range. Nothing really getting in the way. I mean, that's like a full-on broken ankle down there. So they move really well. Like, they move very much like a normal modern style action figure. So anything you expect to find with most 6-inch figures, from Hasbro or anything like that, this very much feels like that. Diaphragm cut, waist cut, double joints, pinless, all that good stuff. Butterfly joints, everything moves, everything feels really good. If anything, I wouldn't think that this wasn't final. So, there's the caveat there taken away from me almost, is that they feel like they are full production. I really have no concerns with what this thing can or cannot do. Now, visually, there is a lot to like on these, and honestly, there's some stuff here that I wasn't expecting either. I didn't really expect when I first got them, because I hadn't actually opened both of them until I got home, was that they had so many different pieces. So we've got different heads, and we've got different wings, and it's not just this set. Like, there are different heads in the baggies, too, among different accessories, so you can sort of mix and match stuff as well. But this ticks off a couple boxes for me, right? Like I said, demons and translucent, so I kind of like that right out of the gate. But these are really solid figures, and if you're into this kind of stuff, if you're into either of those things, if you like demons or if you like translucent stuff, this is for you, because these look fantastic. The translucent plastic here is so well done. I was honestly kind of concerned that my lights and my backdrop might have distorted the color on specifically the red one, but these guys pop. And that's the only way to say it. They absolutely pop. I love the slight overspray of the black around the wrist, and then of course the hands and the ankles and the feet, and then you've got it just up at the top of the torso as well, fading down from the neck. The faces on both of these things are absolutely gnarly. You know, they are very, you know, biblically accurate style of demons with these, you know, gnarly head sculpts with the tusks on one of them. You got the big ears and all that stuff. And again, there are other heads to talk about also, but you've got options because of course you can swap these between the two figures. The eyes, which I hadn't known until Chris pointed out, they glow in the dark, and they absolutely glow. Like these things really light up, especially if you charge them with a black light. They're going to shine really well, so that's awesome. I love glow-in-the-dark stuff as well, so glow in the dark, you got me right there. But I think the coolest aspect of these figures for me is just how well the translucent on them looks. And that's kind of a weird thing to say, but like they look like candy, and I absolutely like that. I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I really like the wings also. The wings on my green one are kind of loose. Like I said, there are some refinements to still be done, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But the wings are also different. So they're not necessarily the same sculpt, but like different size as well. So the red ones are bigger, and then the green ones are, you know, they're a little bit more like bat kind of wings. These look more like actual like demon wings, and these look sort of leathery almost in many ways. But I really like the black overspray on these also. Just gives them a little bit more oomph, and it helps bring out some of the sculpt that, you know, in many times on a translucent figure is often lost just because you can't see it because there's no paint on it. So there is a little bit of paint there just to help bring all of that sculpt out. These guys are a little on the slender side, like I mentioned, so we'll do some size comparisons so you know what you're working with. But they look great. I'm really happy with them. Again, this isn't necessarily something that I would have gone super deep on normally, but I really like these. I think they look really cool. The translucent's well done. What paint they do have, I mean, it's just sort of, you know, a spray just to help accentuate some details. But it's clean, and it's across the board. It's very consistent on both figures. Love the head sculpts. Love the fact that the eyes glow, and then the fact that these wings are not necessarily just unique, but so different from each other while being thematically the same in many ways. Really does it for me. I only kind of wish that I could have swapped the two just to play around with them more. But these look great. I'm really happy with them. I feel like anybody who gets these, or even the finished, you know, the normal versions, is really going to be excited about these. Now, like I mentioned, we're going to do some size comparisons, so we've got to have a Legions represented here. So we've got Keltis here on the left, and we've got, because it's fresh, we've got the Premium DNA Rash from Battletoads to give you an idea of what he looks like with a couple different lines, and we'll kind of run through some, but I think this is the one most people want to see, is exactly how this guy stacks up. And, you know, like I mentioned, these are not Legions figures. They're not scaled to Legions. They are slightly smaller, but I do think the demons in particular will be able to be used with Legions because you can put this kind of stuff just about anywhere. And then this gives you an idea of what he looks like with, you know, another 6-inch but slightly bulky figure. Let's take Rash aside, and here's a Hasbro figure. There's scrap iron from Classified, so that's a pretty good representation. They're very Hasbro-ish in many ways. Let's move Keltis aside, and here's an Ultimates. There's Lino. Let's do a Figuarts. Here's our baseline. Here's Goku. Let's take Lino aside. Here is the ever-present Mezco Conan for some Mezco size comparison. And one more, because he hasn't left my area yet. Here's the boss fight Doozer, just for fun. So this guy, I mean, he's very normal 6-inch 112 kind of figure. Should mesh with just about anything that you're used to in the 112 arena, and then will also look really good alongside Legions because, again, it's a demon. It can be just about anything when it comes to scale. Now, as far as accessories goes, these things come with a pretty decent spread, and they're going to be 2-packs, I believe, in the production run. So you'll be able to get like kind of all of the same kind of stuff that I have with the two individual figures here, all in one go. Although I do believe the various types of demons, because there's multiple demons in the actual wave, have different things, slightly different things throughout, like different wings and stuff like that. So to start with, we do get 2 extra head sculpts. So we've got a horned head on the red figure, and we've got a horned head now on the green. And of course you can mix and match. The green figures do have green eyes, and the red ones do have yellow eyes, but it doesn't really matter. You can swap those. I do really like these. I like the variation. I like just the idea that we get 4 heads across both of these figures. What I don't know is if it's the same heads across all of these. I don't exactly know how we packed them out. We do get some extra hands as well. So they got fists on them, and you get 3 extra sets. You get a set of like gesturing hands. You get a set of gripping hands. And you get a set of like relaxed palm, slightly cupping style hands. We also get some weapons. So you get staves. We got this one, and I'm not really sure what this thing at the end here is supposed to be. It just attaches to the staff itself. In some of the product shots, it's shown, one of them looked like it was like water almost. It was blue. I don't know. It's like some sort of like flame kind of effect or water effect or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's clear. You got that. And then we also get a really weird looking pitchfork, which I mean, as kind of odd as this shape is. I like it. I'm sure it's based in, some sort of, artwork or something for him to have included it. But I do like this. That's kind of cool. And again, these are translucent. It's the same staff. It just has a different piece on the end. And it's kind of like a smoky translucent at that. And then the last thing that they come with in all of the figures, all the demons will have these, you get bases. And the bases, I believe, if memory serves, again, my brain is mush after PowerCon. I believe he said the bases were random across the figure, so I got one that's kind of like, well, honestly, I don't know. I think it's like sand or something because there's a water one, and it looks like it has ripples in the water. This one looks a little bit different. Maybe it's a different water one. And then this one is like a rock one. So you've got a rock stand as well. Just have a base. I'm not one to usually use bases, but I like the fact that they're there. I'm not going to complain about having more stuff. So they do come with a pretty solid spread. And like I said, when you get the actual versions, you're going to have a little bit more consistency across the figures. It's not going to be a red one and a green one. It's going to be a 2-pack of red or a 2-pack of the shadow demons or what have you. So some pretty solid stuff here. I really like these head sculpts. I'm very happy with them. And again, love the fact that the eyes glow. And then I guess you could count the wings as accessories also. Because you don't have to use them. But otherwise, pretty decent amount of stuff here. So yeah, overall, I think these are really great. I think I made that quite clear. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Again, for an exclusive, this is the right kind of thing to do. This is a convention kind of exclusive. It's translucent. It's not necessarily something you have to have because it's not a mainline type of thing. So if you just wanted to wait, you're good. If you wanted to get something a little bit special that is wacky and different, this is the right kind of exclusive. But this also was a great opportunity to see what these figures can do, see that Chris does know what he's doing, and I mean, these just look fun. They move really well, they have a great design, the colors are so good, the glow in the dark is done really well. I love the wings. Despite the fact that they don't actually do a whole lot, I really like the wings. It adds some menace to these figures and makes them a little bit bulkier too. And then you have a pretty solid array of accessories that you can swap between the figures if you just want to mix and match a bit. So that's going to do it for this look at the PowerCon exclusive Translucent Demons from D13. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.